In this video, we will see how we can publish simple React app package to Azure artifacts. So if I go to my Azure DevOps Artifact 02 Hero project, here I have this Git repository which we were using in our previous videos also. So this is a simple React based application. I have cloned this repository in my local. I'll show you how this application looks like. npm start. Okay, this is a very simple hello world application. Okay, and now if I want to create a package out of this simple React based application, what are the steps we need to perform? The first thing is we need to make sure that all the dependencies of the code are installed. Okay, so once we have the dependencies, we need to build the code, and once we build the code, we get the build artifacts, right? And then we need to take those build artifacts and create the package and then publish that to Azure Artifact feed. Okay, now to install the dependencies, how do we get to know like what set of dependencies this application has? So that is where, like, in this solution, in this source code, we have this package.json which defines like the name of the package, the version of the package, all the dependencies of this solution, and some startup commands and so on. Okay, so this is very important file. So once we run this command, we can run in local. I can show you npm install. When we run this command, it targets this package.json file to get all these dependencies. Okay, it refers this package.json file and install all the dependencies. So once we have dependencies installed, then we need to build the code, right? So for that, we can write npm run build command. Okay, when we run this command, what happens is it creates this build directory, and it creates all the static and other related files of this application. Okay, and we will be packaging this directory and moving it from one environment to other environment. Okay, once we have this build and once we package this directory, then again we have to publish it to Azure Artifact feed, right? So for publishing to Azure Artifact feed, we need to have permission to do that. So let's say if I am doing all these install dependencies, build code and packaging through pipeline, then this pipeline needs to have access to this Azure Artifact section. So now I'll show you a similar pipeline which I created in here. This is simple pipeline which we were discussing in our previous videos also. It is referring to step template, and if I go to my step templates, here simply what we are doing in this is a collection of steps, right? And in the step 1, we are installing the Node.js which are required for our React application. Okay, and in here we are authenticating through this task to this Azure Artifact. I'll show you how I created this npm rc file. If you see this npm rc file, we have this one, I'll show you how I created, but first thing is I'll just give the overview. So using this task we are authenticating from here to here, okay, and then we are running npm install and npm build command. So this install and build command, okay, we can ignore this one, this is just a listing command. And then for creating the package we are copying this build directory, as I was saying, this build directory, and also this package.json, which is very important for getting our package name and the version and all the dependencies information. So that's why we are copying package.json as well, and then we are publishing it to our pipeline artifact staging directory. So we discussed these predefined variables in our previous videos. I highly recommend you to watch that. So we are publishing it to our pipeline artifact staging directory with artifact name as npm. Okay, so I'll show you an example here. If I go to this pipeline, this is the output in our pipeline artifact section. So npm and all the files of this build directory, okay. And now once we have that in our staging directory, what we can do is we can move this to our Azure artifact, okay. Now this package is ready in our pipeline artifact staging directory. Now we need to push it to our Azure artifact section. So in here we need to create a feed. So for example, if I go to my artifact section here, what we need to do is we need to create feed here. For example, azure tutorial as a React, okay. So members of the Azure Active Directory can have permission. Now our feed is ready, right? This feed is ready, and this pipeline is going to run using a set of build service accounts, right? So the account through which this is going to run which is going to build this solution needs to have access, contribute access on this feed, because it is going to create a package in this feed, right? So what we have to do is in this feed, if I go to settings, in permissions, this is a build service account. In here as of now it is collaborators, but we need to give contributors role, okay. Now it has changed to contributor, okay. Now our pipeline, the account build service account has access to this feed as a contributor, right? Now if I go to our this step template section, what are we doing here? In here, after publishing it to our pipeline artifact staging directory, we need to move this package from pipeline artifact staging directory to here, right? So we need to publish it from pipeline artifact staging directory to this one, right? So in here what we are doing, we are saying npm task publish our artifacts, the content from our artifact staging directory to the publishing registry is we are saying use feed. Use feed means this feed, we are saying to connect to this feed. So where is this feed? The feed is in Azure DevOps Zero to Hero project, and the feed name we gave is ABC. Okay, we can now we need to change this name because we have created our new feed, right? So in here, if I go to this step template, and in here we need to change the feed name. Okay, now we configured our pipeline for publishing this package to connect to this feed, and we also what did we do? We also updated the new feed name which we created just now. Okay, so now when it comes to this .npm-rc file, what happens is, let's say you are in this Azure artifact section, and if I go and click on, currently we don't have packages, right? So if I say connect to feed, it is giving these options like what kind of feed you want to connect to: NuGet, npm, maven. So based on the type of solution we have, we need to select right type of feed from this list. So in our case it is npm. So it says for publishing npm packages, then we need to follow these steps. Here it says add npm rc to your project in the same directory as your package.json, and copy this one. Okay, that is what we did. I'll show you that. And then it is saying to run this command, but this we need to do it when we are doing it in local, and then run npm install and publish. Okay, now I'll go here and I'll show you. For publishing, we are saying use feed, and the feed name is this one, right? And in npm rc we are saying in here, in Azure DevOps Zero to Hero packaging, package name we gave as test. Okay, we need to change even this one. So now our feed name is different. So now we'll create the pull request, updated as per okay. I just gave some random title here. I'll just approve and merge. Now our pipeline is running. So this pipeline is going to install the dependencies, build the code, package the code, and publish it to Azure Artifact feed. I'll pause the video for some time. So now the pipeline has finished, and if I go to this pipeline, and I'll show you here, this is the artifact which is at the pipeline level. This is the artifact staging directory, and in here, and from here, since we created our so this feed which we created just now, it has installed all these like packages, and along with that we can check our hello world one. So what did it do? So it has installed all these packages like which are there in this node module 1, which are like came out of these dependencies, and along with that it has created our own package with this name and this version. Okay, and if I show you by downloading this one in here, we can see what it has packaged. You see it has packaged all the files which are under this build directory. Okay, now since we have this package, what we can do is we can simply go to our package.json and change the version of our package here, and we can create the pull request and merge. So this is going to trigger our pipeline and build our complete solution, and it's going to update this version here. So this way we can cleanly maintain the versions of our solution, and we can share this one, and we can control the permissions, and we can promote it from pre-release to release and so on, the options which we saw in our previous videos, right? So thank you for your time. See you in next video. It's going to build and it's going to take some time. Okay, it has completed. Let me show you that. You see it has updated the version of our package, right? So that's it for this video. See you in next video.